Oh well, you can't predict for God. Because God said any situation you see yourself, say thank you to Him. What inspired me is that all I asked my God to do for me, He's been doing it. Health-wise, monetary, child, everything that can make somebody be happy in life, God has provided for me. So that is what inspired me to be working for my God. Because God said if you are working in His farm, He Himself is in your farm working. That is my inspiration.
So can you...
It's about my mom. She was actually coronated the Nsukwa of a Catholic Church. It's actually the highest coronation of Catholic Church that what you can see in Catholic Church. And I'm happy she has lived to be coronated this today.
What specifically has distinguished her by growing up as your mother? What has distinguished her?
Actually, since I was a child, I've known her to be training some seminarians in the major seminary. With the little she has, from as far back as 1991, which I have grown to know. I actually don't know how long she has started it, but from 1991, I was opportune to know that she was training some seminarians in major seminary. With the little she has 8 children. She's a civil servant, and everybody knows what civil servants earn. But with the mega salary that she earns, she's been able to train her children as well as getting others who are seminarians, who are working for God, to be inclined as her children. So I see that as a selfless service to the work of God. And in this Nigerian that we are today, based on the hardship that is happening in Nigeria today, that she could be that selfless to train a son to work for God. I think that's the selfless service, because she's not rich. I cannot say she's wealthy. I cannot say she's rich. But with the little she has actually made up her mind to train somebody for God. So I think that's a selfless service, and I think that's kudos to her for what she has done.
There seems to be elaborate gatherings today. How did that make you feel?
Wow, I feel so elated because I wouldn't actually say she's the oldest in the church. For those who they coronated today, she's not the oldest. But when you work for God, either in secret or in open, God sees you. And invariably man sees you, because God is spirit. He can actually not come down as a man to see you. But that which you think you are doing in secret, because you're actually working for God, people will see you. And in one way or the other, they will come to acknowledge, because she's not the only woman in Nsukwa today. But she was actually acknowledged for the work that she has been doing for decades. I can't say it's a decade, but for decades today, she was actually acknowledged for what she did. I think I am actually happy for what she did and what she's still willing and ready to continue doing, because there are actually so many people in this village who are wealthier than she is. But it's between you and God, who knows what is good for you and what is for God. And she has brought out herself to work for God. I think that distinguished her from every other person who is in church today or who was in church today, that made her outstanding for what she was coronated for today.
Her daughter, what inspiration are you drawing from that?
There are so many inspirations to draw from her.
Almost. To be given such an honor, you have to have led and still living a life of example, which Yoruba people will say exemplary. There are many women in the church. There are many men in the church. But for the parish to deem it fit that a certain number of people should be so honored, it's not by default. It's by, your mom is over 70s and she's been in this community from birth. Agreed work, marriage, chukai way. But everybody here knows her. And what culminated in the event we are experiencing today didn't happen overnight. She's been watched over 70 odd years. People have had experiences with her. People have had good memories of her deeds. That's why we are celebrating today. So in one word, or probably should I say a phrase, an exemplary life led us to where we are today.
Earlier, she has 8 children and she has worked outstandingly to make the 8 children what she feels is utmost for them. Irrespective of that, she has actually worked in church to make the church what is good for them, to work for God, to build for God, to build in humanity, to build for seminarians, to build for God. Can actually not come down for himself to work for himself, but he will work through men. And from a little child, I have seen her. She was actually working for God, and she has built men who are in today reverend fathers. As the father said in church, they said he didn't know her today as a mother, but he has known her for years, that she has been working for church. And I wouldn't stand with father, because that is the aspect that father has known. I am her child, so I think I have known more than what father is actually aware of. And if I say I have not learned from that, I think I'm actually deceiving myself. So because she has actually worked for God, with the 8 children she has pushed herself further with the mega salary she gets from civil service. I think that alone is a tutor, is an inspiration, is a mentor for me to continue with, that I have to. Doesn't mean I have to stop there for working for God. Doesn't mean because I earn little salary, then I have to end there. I have to remember that actually in working for God, there are people in my community who actually need my service, who actually know that I have something to do for them. The money may not be as much as I would want to give to them, but the little way I can, I think I should do the best I can based on what I have learned from her.
In the final analysis, there's a generational gap between your mother and you. What significant observation have you seen in the shifts in Christianity, piosity, that you think you can still marry together?
In the present world, I wouldn't categorize, or I wouldn't sideline it to Catholic Church because I'm a Catholic. But generally, I think churches today are gearing towards, are pioneering towards, are working towards just the economical aspect of life. But I want to let the world know it actually doesn't end in money. It actually doesn't end in funds that you can raise. I am a nurse today, and I can tell you that psychotherapy works beyond what money can afford. So I think it's time we work towards bringing those in our age group, in our generation, in our peer group, with the little we have. If it has to do with psychotherapy, if it has to do with sociological upbringing, if it has to do with economic upbringing, if it has to do with whatever you can do to bring those, you actually personally, I can't go out to those who are within the community, but those who are within my reach, those who are within where I live, in this Nsukwa where I know I belong to, where I am welcomed. I think it's good we bring them close to ourselves. Like somebody said in church today, that parents shouldn't teach their children to remain in the village. Because some persons go to school, like I can give you for instance, this is where I come from, this is where I know. In Nsukwa Grammar School, they go to the primary school in Nsukwa, maybe another primary school, they go to Nsukwa Grammar School, and I think that's all.
That has been going on from time immemorial up to the moment. People have been taking note. Okay, there is not. It means there is. It has come to bring out that there's nothing really hidden under the sun. Okay, whatever we are doing today, however activity that went on in church today, you know, and then it means our lifestyle, our patterns, whatever we've been doing, people are watching. And to have given my mother that award, that title, it draws some sort of consciousness on us, the children, mostly myself. Let me speak personally, because I have to be more conscious of what I do as a person. Having bestowed such title on my mother, you never know the impact your lifestyle, your personality has on the next person. So it only behoves on me to be more conscious of what I do, and then whatever it is I do, it should be to uplift the living standard of the people around me, to better the life of others, to influence them in the positive direction, because our lifestyle speaks more volume than what we say. So it just draws consciousness. I am happy about it, and that's it.
Growing up, what is your experience? In what specific ways do you think she has exhibited the articles of faith?
Wow. Growing up as a child under my mother.
One word or just a sentence, because if you say one word, I don't think it's going to be enough. I want to say that mother is supreme.
Supreme?
Yes.
Supremacy is the one word.
As a child, I met a devout Catholic. I remember as a child far back in Ejime. I think every morning, every time 5 a.m. The only time I woke up 5 a.m. I know my mom is leaving for morning mass, and that hasn't ended until she started experiencing some health challenges where she can no longer go for morning masses. My mother is just she and God. She's never taken me to go and see any native doctor. It's only whatever happens, she says put it in prayer, and she's lived it. She's lived it to to the fullness. Okay, it is God, and God, and you can see. In all we have done, in all we've been, she's been there for us. She's never given in. A lot of persons, if you know the experience and the knowledge of what it's been all the while, would have buckled. But no, at every point in time she will say, you never know what God has in store. Don't give up. So yes, it's been her lifestyle, it's a practical thing. She's practiced that thing as a true Catholic who has faith in an unfailing God. So yes, she's lived it, and I'd ask people to emulate her lifestyle. It's a life of faith. Not faith in humanity or just faith in humanity, but faith in God as a true Christian, as a Christian mother. I mean, you can't explain it any further than her lifestyle, her person is it's a person of faith. Okay? So, that's it.
Bringing it back home, faith as a Christian is a different narrative. Okay. She's a mother. Give us an insight into her motherhood.
Okay, let me take it from the other side. There are 8 of us, okay? And my mother that I know, she's been there for all of us, okay? From the much I know, being a mother, it's challenging. People would want to cling to a particular person, a favorite son, or a favorite daughter, but I'm not sure that's the case. Every one of us have had, she's been there for us, academic and otherwise. So long as you're ready to move forward, she's there to assist, encourage you, whatever it will cost her to ensure you succeed. And I came up knowing my mother. One thing I know about her is she doesn't just do this for her biological children. A lot of persons that I got to find out are not even related to me by blood or anything. They got their bills, different assistance from my mother. And some of them who remember come back to say thank you. For the other 9, the biblical 9 who don't remember, it's cool. Okay, so she's been a great mother. She's lived it. She's shown in every example, ready to encourage even those who despair. She's ready to encourage and show you the right path, if only you will watch and see, and that's it.
There seems to be a generational gap between her time and your time. What your parents will need from that?
Generational gap, if I understand that, will mean that their lifestyle at that time, those virtues they hold dear to their heart, is no longer what it is. First of all, you must point that there is no longer relationship in our Nigerian society. We say, it means no relationship with those who you are even related to. The way we relate now is not the way it was back then. Before now, people go far and wide to see their blood relations, their relatives, even friends. So far that they kept their relationships close, they kept it tight. It was worthy of emulation. But now, that the reverse is the case. My generation don't even believe in it. You can live 10, 15, 20 years, your brother or sister from the same mother or within the same family, you've not spoken to them, you don't go to see them, you go to the city where they are, you don't even have a need to see them. I think we should retrace our steps, because there's really a big gap. And that is why you see a lot of things are happening, social vices, because of poor parenting. My generation no longer believe, they don't even, in fact, family failure upon family, how do I put it? Family responsibilities, the family tree. Parents no longer live up to their responsibilities of caring for their children, and vice versa. Children no longer also believe in the family tree anymore. They just wake up, feel you're an adult, you can do things on your own without the tutelage of your parents and all of that. So you see, that is one of the reasons why we have a lot of vices today. Marriages are breaking every day, and because the real reasons, the real things that are supposed to happen to lead people to marriage, they no longer do it. Okay, the real investigations and all what have you. We used to say then that it means good name is better than wealth, good name is better than riches. But these days everybody wants to marry somebody who can give them comfort, not minding what happens afterwards. Okay, these are part of the things that, and at the end of the day, you people who are not even comfortable together, other than wealth or the fortune that has brought them together, once that thing goes, or even with it, they break up, because over time you get to outlive those material things that may have brought you together. You know, you face the reality. Most of our people today are more interested in the wedding than in the marriage, and then that is where the failure in family begins to crop in, and we could see that. But back then, our parents had nothing, their families had nothing, but they lived even without the money and all what have you. So I'm going to encourage my generation to please look back and see where we were coming from, our parents are coming from, how they've lived peacefully with little or nothing, and then I think the society will be better for it.
In the final analysis, so much people, there was so much turnout of goodwill, and a large turnout of people to felicitate. How does that make you feel?
Well, you see, like I said ab initio, it points to one direction, that whatever it is you're doing, people are watching you. Yes, people had come, you know, it's a practical thing. People had come to pour their hearts, you know, to show felicitation, because what you have given, the award she was given, is well deserved. That is the simple analysis. Those you see who came out, a lot of them came from far and wide, outside the states and within the states, to rejoice with her and other celebrants. Because if you heard the priest while preaching mention the names of those who had been working to sustain St. Joseph's Catholic Church and the Catholic and Christian community of this community in Nsukwa, and most of the names, if not all the names the priest mentioned in the altar today, were there receiving the awards, my mother inclusive. So you see, it says a lot for people to have left whatever it is their busy schedule. Today is Easter, for heaven's sake. So it's a massive celebration for the Christian community to have abandoned their, or let go, petition their other activities, engagements. So many people are getting married today, so many activities, so many festivities, but they left all of that to come and be with these people, the awardees, my mother being one of them, Lady Victoria Baadi. It says a lot. It means, yes, that they have actually done well. And like the father said, the reward for good work is what? More work. So that's it. For people to leave whatever they are doing to come and be with you, it means you are doing well. And what would they say? Kudos. Hold on to what you're doing. And that's that.
What are you taking? What